Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Bulletproof for BJJ podcast. I'm JT, and I'm here with Mr. Even Keel, Joey.
That's right, guys. Keeping it straight and narrow.
My goodness, or straight and thick as the case may be. It's exciting. I'm hyped because there's been a lot of work in this, and that is the Bulletproof for BJJ app. We had to dedicate an episode because it's been a bit of a journey, and there's lots of cool stuff that you guys are going to get your hands on real soon. And you've heard us talk about it, but now it's actually out there. And man, it's so good. Like I guess it's like many things. You never start a project thinking, oh, this won't work or this will fail. But along the journey, there's like many hurdles you have to overcome. But then when it's done, you're like, we did it. Yes. Like, yeah, it worked. The plan worked. And the cool thing is also we can change it or whatever, but there's been a bit of work, hasn't there, Joe?
It's been a shitload of work. It was easily, building an app, you're like, fuck, how hard can it be, right? Yeah. Heaps of people do it all the time. Just throw it together.
Yeah.
And we actually had an existing product, which was our program.
Our website.
And we're like, well, we just put that into an app. Like, the work's already done.
Sure.
Yeah, fuck, it's a lot of work.
But I think the great thing is, Joe had a little bit of prior experience. So he came in knowing, and I already had.
I was a co-founder of Google. Don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah.
But, it's always good to have those skills. I already had some ideas in my mind because I've used a bunch of other fitness apps and didn't like them. I was like, no, it doesn't tick my box as a jiu-jitsu person. I want a jiu-jitsu training app. So something where I can log my jiu-jitsu, log my lifting, do all these things and keep it in one place. And that's what I wanted from it. And then, we went through this whole process of what features should we have? And yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, where would you like to start with it, Joe, in terms of what you feel the app brings or what you like about it?
Well, why don't we talk about why we needed to build the app first?
Okay.
Because I think, like, for folks who have listened to our earlier episodes, if you've gone back to the start or you've been here since the very beginning.
Day one.
Yeah, you kind of know where this thing evolved from, but I'm guessing a lot of people don't. We threw this online program together, right?
Sure.
You got to hook up through BJJ Fanatics.
Yep.
Bernardo said, hey, JT, can you do like a strength conditioning
Product
for us?
Yep.
I was kind of doing some jits, mobility and strength. You're like, hey, Joey, we should collab on this thing.
Yeah.
We're like, man, what a great opportunity. Well, why don't we, while we're at it, instead of just, why don't we just put it on a website and it can also be this online program and we can add to it over time.
Yeah. And I had a friend who built websites part-time.
Yeah.
And I said,
shout out to Rog.
Shout out, Rog. Respect. And he did it, we still had to invest money to make that happen.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'll throw a website together for you guys.
But it's still an expensive process, right? And then the filming of the videos and everything from day one. I had a little memory pop up from Alan Chan. Shout out Alan. Help get us started with all our
OG
videos.
video guy, yeah.
OG. Medax. And it was from right at the end of 2018. We kind of did 2 shoots.
Yep.
But the website didn't really come about till 2009, like later in 2019. It didn't really go live. And also the BJJ Fanatics thing didn't happen till September or October of 2019.
Okay.
So
yeah, right.
Even though we had started and we'd put work in and we'd done all these things, it didn't really come together till kind of later in the piece.
Yeah, well, I mean, specifically for the DVD, there was a shitload of work in like making that because it's its whole own format, isn't it? So it required sort of, graphics work and certain editing and blah, blah, blah.
Forthing and all of that.
And that's still out there. Actually, we get questions every now and again, usually through the socials like, hey, I was going to buy your DVD or I just bought it, wondering what the difference is between this and your online program. And anyway, the answer is the online program is constantly evolving. The DVD's fixed.
Yes.
But, it's probably going to be a collector's item at some point.
It will.
Get your hands on it while you still can, guys. But people are like, what the fuck is a DVD?
What are these guys talking about?
That's a digital video disc, man.
There you go. Flashback.
But yeah, so anyway, we've had our online program, which has been living on a website.
Yes.
Website looks fine. And for those of you who are using it, most people are like, hey, the program's really good. The content's mad.
Yep.
What you guys have put together is sick. But the website fucking sucks.
It's slow, guys.
It's slow as shit.
It's clunky. And what's terrible is it possibly has gotten slower because we have more people using it.
Yeah, more people. We add more content to it. It's all built as like a WordPress website. It was never designed to be you know, to be whatever, like an efficient,
To work
user-friendly
at scale.
That's right.
We did it because we thought this would be a good idea. We didn't really, probably couldn't know at that time what it would take to make. And also the standard for websites in the last, 5 years has gone up dramatically.
Yeah.
And
people have high expectations now.
they're like, if this doesn't load in 3 seconds, I'm out.
No, 3 seconds isn't out.
That's slow.
It's like, if this doesn't load before I've even thought about pressing the load button, I'm out. Fair enough.
Yeah.
This is
the game.
Yeah. So,
And we went through that process, right, where I said, hey, maybe we could consider an app. But Joe's like, whoa, hang on. This isn't my first radio. I've done this dance. Let's work this through.
did we talk right at the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of course, like an app is the gold standard for like user experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But it's fucking expensive. And for us in the beginning, it's like, whoa, dude, all we've done is spend money. We've got no income.
Made no money.
Yeah. So, what was really cool is that by waiting until now, we were able to save some money to a point where we could afford to develop this app. It's been a pretty big expense, but we've managed to do it. But we've also been able to refine our content, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
So we had a shitload of different programs on our site. And so obviously when we set out with the app thing, we had to decide, what do we need to do for this first version?
Yes.
And the brief for what we decided was, well, it has to have everything that's on the website now has to be on the app.
Yep.
That's all it has to be. Obviously, there's all these other features we want to have to develop down the track.
Yes.
But for now, it's just got to deliver what we currently deliver, but be way fucking better and faster and smoother.
And I actually think, to be honest, it delivers more than that because, like you're saying, the refinement part of it with the programming. So, based off what you guys out there have told us, like, hey, this and what about that? And we've gone back and forth on working with our own clients and what's worked for us using our own program. And nah, that's too hard.
There's always changes.
There's changes and it evolves. And so I think we've been able to come to a good point. And so there's a couple of new programs in there, which is really cool.
Yep.
But then also let's talk about what's in there because I think there's some cool things in there which was not part of the functionality of the website. And we've made this to really work for people when they're working out.
So I guess like the kind of big theme that the app brings that's new is this whole tracking and accountability piece, right?
Yeah.
And so we got a sort of a few key areas where we're doing that. We're doing that through the stats,
Yes.
right? Which we'll go into.
Rings, yep.
The rings. We're doing it through the actual tracking of the workouts and your progress through a workout and through the cycles within that workout.
Yep.
And then we're also doing it on like the dashboard with the base 233.
Yes.
Which is, if you heard our previous episode talking about that, that's our general base recommendation of 2 strength sessions, 3 mobility, and 3 jiu-jitsu classes per week. So the idea is that the app will help you to track that on a daily basis.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the thing about it is when you have a graphic representation, see, even if you're not in the habit of writing down your training, you just kind of keep a bit of a rough tally in your brain and you're like, oh, if I do a bit more, that'll be better. But what's great about actually seeing it there, you're like, oh, I'm actually closer. The reminder is really powerful. And it's not necessarily us reminding you, we're reminding you in digital form, but just having that structure there builds a habit. And then you're like, oh, hang on, I'm feeling pretty good with this rhythm. And maybe if you've got a bit more energy, you think, oh, I'll put in an extra session there. But then also you're like, oh, hang on, I'm a bit behind. And it's not...
Shit, I haven't touched mobility yet this week.
Yeah, maybe I need to get a session in there, or maybe I need to get in 2. And
Eat your veggies, motherfuckers.
Exactly. What's so good about that is it's satisfying, like in a very strange way, because I've been using Duolingo, right? And it's possibly one of the best learning apps in the world. And
JT's learning to speak English again.
It's
going well, guys.
It's up gradually. I wish they taught breathing or chewing. No, it's one of those things that I actually got quite hooked. I'm like, yo, I got to hit my daily kind of like your XP of sorts. Like I've got to do my daily thing because otherwise I do feel a little guilty. And they send you push reminders, but it's funny.
It's like a little lesson or something.
You got to do a daily lesson, Yeah. But what I think about that is, if I think about our app, it's built in there. You don't necessarily need it. You just look at it and you think, oh, I'm missing this. Let's complete that. There's a satisfaction in just being like, yeah, I've satisfied my needs this week. And we've organized it for you. I think that's what's cool. You don't have to think. The format's there.
Just do.
Yeah,
so the rings piece, right, on the stats screen, which was really your design, you've basically got 3 different rings, one for strength, mobility, and jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
And the idea is that you want to close the ring, each 3 rings, every week.
Yep.
And so if you hit your 2 strength sessions, you hit one, you complete one session, you get half the ring filled.
Yep.
Second session, full thing. Mobility 3, jiu-jitsu 3. It's really simple. It's really easy. It's like, oh fuck, like I'm partway there.
Yeah.
Actually, it makes me think, who's our man from New York? Justin. Yeah. The wedge. He posted, he tagged us in a post on his Instagram of his training card.
Filled out so
from
many
Henzo,
sessions.
From the Henzo gym he's at, I think in Jersey.
Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, and they tick, it's got like every week and every month on this grid. And, it's just a fucking page full of ticks.
So consistent.
And it's the exact same idea.
Yep.
You're ticking it off every session and the app is showing you, hey, this is how much you've done and this is how much is left.
And also, if you are a paid subscriber of our app, you get rewards. You get achievements. And this is something that I was really big on because, I don't know, whatever, got that achievement kind of orientation. I want that dopamine hit. If you complete your rings for the week, you get your weekly warrior reward. It's like, bing, congrats, you hit all your rings, thumbs up. If you do this consistently for 4 weeks and it goes through, you'll get your monthly master reward. Now, there's other, they're all locked, right? Like all these achievements are locked until you unlock them by doing the workouts. But here's the thing, guys. This is something I want to share with you, which is it's something we haven't talked about, and it's not overly obvious in the app. But you will actually get a reward for doing these things. So as you accumulate more experience points and like more workouts and things like that, you actually accumulate a degree of credit, like a Bulletproof Credit. And because if you're really consistent, we want to reward you. Now, it's not like, oh, we're paying you to work out, but we do want to reward you for doing the right thing. And that can be used in the store, which is in the app. So literally, you can apply that to your, a shirt or an additional program or any of the number of other products that will be in the site. Once you kind of save it up, like rewards points, you can literally translate it to something purchasable in the store.
Yeah, it's sick. It's your bulletproof coins.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, we've created our own crypto.
Yeah, basically.
We've taken on Bitcoin.
Pretty much.
It's not a crypto.
It's not. Don't get it twisted, guys. But and look,
yeah, I mean that side of it's super fun. And if you don't like say when we built that, I was like, bro, I don't really care about this stuff. And you're like, bro, but I really like this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, I think it works for some and not others. So we're like, well, it doesn't hurt, right? It's in there and you're training and you're just using it for whatever, for your thing. And then, I don't know, maybe one day you do go to the store and you're like, oh, I got a few bucks here that I can knock off like a t-shirt or a rash guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, I wouldn't hate on that at all.
Yeah.
As someone who tends not to engage in rewards programs,
No.
it's just happening in the background. They don't expire. It's none of that shit like when you fucking frequent flyer points or whatever,
No, it's not like that. But it's just, I feel I wanted to do it as a nod to our consistent people out there because we've got shout out to you for plugging away and staying consistent. Like you deserve a pat, a pat on the back, well done. And I feel like it's just a little nice inbuilt thing there. Journal. This is the other feature, which is great.
Yeah, so these are all interconnected, right?
Yeah.
And so the journal's pretty simple. We wanted to give you guys the ability to just track your jiu-jitsu training. Now, strength, jiu-jitsu, mobility, as you would know, we see it all as interconnected. So our app obviously deals with the strength and mobility side. We're not teaching you any jiu-jitsu, but we thought, well, what if we just gave you the ability to track your jiu-jitsu training and then the app can take that into account amongst everything else. So the journal's super simple. The journal just gives you the calendar and then it gives you 3 buttons, jiu-jitsu, strength and mobility, and you can log those sessions. Now, if you're doing your mobility and strength within the app, like you're following our programs, then that will automatically be logged for you as you complete workouts. But if you say, go and do a training session with another friend, you go lift some weights, you're following their program, or let's say you use our app and you're currently not following any of our programs, you can just log external sessions as you wish. So maybe you did a 10-minute stretch that wasn't strictly prescribed by us. you can log that as a mobility session and you get the points and the rings. It's acknowledged on the rings.
It clicks through.
But likewise with your jits. So when you finish your jits training, you jump on the app, boom, log my jits. The rings recognize it, the app recognizes it, and then it's going to inform you on the week of how you're going.
Yeah, and I think that's the good thing too, because like this is something I had looked at a lot of other apps before we went down this path, and the free version of a lot of apps is garbage because they just want you to pay to use it, and like fair play, like that's the business, right? But I said to Joe, like let's make our app good, so even if you don't subscribe, like you don't pay to use it, the free functionality is great. You can use the journal, the rings work, like you can access some of our programs, but you can also just use, like if you're doing yoga or you're doing other things, you can still use that function on your phone.
Yeah.
I think that's the really good thing about it, that you can get benefit from it. You don't have to pay any money.
Which on that, we're like, yeah, sick. Let's make it. You get every you can access every program.
Yep.
You just get the first training cycle.
Yeah, you don't get the whole program. You get enough that you get a good feel for
We're
it.
probably going to change that at some point.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty fucking liberal at the moment.
It is.
It's all the shit that we've built and designed, and we're like, hey, it's all here for free. One cycle is generally,
Enough.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
The first 6 weeks of any program. So like you could just jump from program to program and train for a year or so, without paying a cent, which we're happy for. But probably at a point we'll say, all right, these select programs are locked, because definitely, like say with standards and with some of the newer stuff we've got coming out, the stuff we plan to do over the next year, there's a lot of shit going into that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And also the cool thing is that we've got new programs there. There will be new content coming. And if you want to see that and access that, you've got a chance to just learn what we do. It's very simple. There's no canceling. There's no bullshit. Like you're not going to accidentally get charged. It's just sign up. If you use it, awesome. If you don't, you can delete it, and that's totally up to you. So I think that freedom and that easiness is cool. I think that's something that I would want with other fitness apps, which I haven't had.
Yeah.
And that's why I like that. But the other thing which is nice is our community. We
built our own Facebook.
Well, of sorts.
We
Minus
kind of did. We built
creepy Zuck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he's training MMA now, bro. So he's one of us.
Team Zuck, bro. No.
No, we are. Well, because we have a Facebook group. It's pretty big. There's a couple thousand people there.
Yeah.
We're reasonably active on it.
I think the thing is this. I'm always in there every week, but I had made a deal with myself probably a year or more ago. I got to get off Facebook. Like I'm not enjoying it,
I'm the same. It's kind of been, we've been phasing out.
Yeah.
But the group's still really active.
Yeah,
and the group's like a really great gathering space, right?
It is. And good questions, good people, good sharing. And we make sure it is that way. Like we don't, no spam, no negativity. Just let's help people with that. But I had said, and I think we both agreed, we wanted our community away from Facebook.
Yeah.
And we have that channel there.
Yeah, we basically built it's like a 2001 Facebook group in terms of functionality.
Yeah, it's pretty
basic. You
basic.
can post photos, videos, you can put links.
Like it, comment.
You can't tag people.
No, not yet.
You can't message anyone privately.
Not yet.
You can't, there's no badges or statuses or whatever. It's just it's all chronological.
Yeah.
So it's whichever post went up last is the one that's there, top of the list. I'm actually really excited by that because I think that it's like WhatsApp.
Yeah.
It's actually just like WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But it probably has a bit more functionality.
It does.
And if you look at it these days, like every motherfucker uses WhatsApp or Telegram.
do.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just the ability to kind of message publicly.
Stay in the chat. And
I'm pumped for that.
I
And the
am.
fact that you don't have to go to another app.
No.
You don't have to get fucking sidetracked by what your auntie posted from Christmas photos or, you know what I mean? None of that shit.
You're not getting any spammy ads on how you can start your own course today, work independently from home. Like, fuck that.
I just get ads for like brides from overseas. You get course invites and shit?
I get ads on how to start podcasts. I'm like, motherfucker, please. But it's funny how it goes. But I feel my goal is just be more open with my own training. Like I train almost every single day. Like I train 5-6 days a week. I'm going to be
all right, big guy. Fuck.
No, whatever. I'm just saying that I have been a bit reticent. I haven't been posting on Instagram lately Because like sometimes my training's not sexy. It's like, here's me doing some shoulder rehab. Here's me, buddy.
That's training, isn't it?
Here's me struggling to touch my toes again. Like, why? But it's one of those things. I am doing it every day, but I think because of the way Instagram works and the way Facebook works, it's all about like your best self. And actually what we'd like to see is like share what maybe isn't working for you so we can help you, because it is a supportive community. And I think it's all good if people want to rip me for something not. I mean, I know Joe will. Joe's first with the feedback.
Yeah.
That looks terrible,
Yeah.
bruh.
Yeah. Bruh, you didn't lock out on those
Delete
pull-ups.
it, no rep, do it again.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's cool. But the idea is that I want to engage with our people more, because we've got this big group of people. I'd much rather be on our app talking to our community than being doom scrolling on Instagram.
100%.
That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped for that and seeing people get into that.
Yeah.
And that will evolve over time, I believe. I feel we'll be able to make it more tech.
Yeah, the goal there that we kind of discussed was like to eventually have it so we can have multiple groups. Different groups can be covering different topics, like a strength one, a mobility one.
Injury.
Yeah, exactly. So that it kind of organizes or categorizes the content a bit more. But for now, as is kind of the case with the whole app, we're like, all right, what's the bare minimum we can do to just give that functionality?
Look, got to give Joe credit here. I wanted to do more with this, but Joe's like, nah, minimal, less. And I was like, all right. And then so I'm talking about the workouts here, guys. Like, so when you go into, say I want to do Strength 101 or I want to do the Swole program, you're trying to get jacked, like Julian. Barbecue, chicken boy, chicken and rice. You click into it, train now. What is cool, there's a few functions there. So it has the exercise. If you don't know the exercise, you click on it and you'll get an option to play the demo video and play the instructional if you want, if you don't know what it is. Originally, there was videos already kind of, thumbnailed up, and I was like, yo, I want an image, I want a GIF of the exercise. And Joe's like, nah, man, like it's too cluttered. And it actually looks super clean now. And there's two features there which I really like. So you can click, there's a little tick on the end if you want to tick off that you've completed the exercise, which you will need to do once you've done it. But there's also a little scribe button, like a little pen
journal.
Little journal. So you can write down the weights that you did. So you can actually record because you forget, like a week later, what did I do? Oh, that's right, I did 24 kilos. And you'd be like, oh, I'm feeling stronger today, I'm going to try 28 or whatever it is. And you can actually log that, and that will come through in the journal section, which is great.
Yeah.
And then once you've ticked it off as you go, I find it very satisfying. I just tick that box. I'm an achiever, boy. And then you get to the bottom, you click the button for complete workout, and that will register on the rings. And
Yeah.
it's not, I always do that.
The dashboard shows you get the little spinning star, little gold
dude.
star.
Ka-ching.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that. I like complete. I straight away go check myself. I mean, I know I've completed it, but
I can make sure I got the ring.
Thank you, app. I feel validated now.
Yeah, the little journal piece there, that was huge. Like we've sort of given people different ways of recording workouts. On our existing program, we have the
PDF.
The standards PDF that a lot of people printed out and use and that kind of thing. We've obviously spoken a lot about journaling and using that like pen to paper. But the simplest thing is, as you're doing your sets, you can just throw how many reps you did, how much weight you lifted into the app, and then the next time you come to that exercise, you can hit journal and it will show you your previous entries.
Yeah.
So it just makes it real easy to just be consistent and make sure that you are pushing for that little bit of extra progress at every workout.
Yeah, it's really nice. And I think it's funny how we look at it as just being small, but it's amazing what that does for your motivation.
Oh yeah.
Or just keeping you consistent.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. Really.
Yeah, and I think a big issue for a lot of people with who are doing regular training is that they aren't necessarily pushing for progress every session.
Yeah.
Or at least every week.
Yes.
And so with a couple of tools like that, it sort of just forces you to do it.
It reminds
It just gives you a little push back, hey, you already did that last week. What are you doing this week?
maybe 2 extra reps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just something as small as that, because the compounding effect of that is massive. Because if you think I've trained for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, you do a cycle and not a Gordon Ryan cycle.
Not a Liver King cycle.
If you've done 6 weeks of training,
Subprimal.
if you're able to add 1 rep each week and you started at say 4 sets of 8, at the end of that, you're doing 4 sets of 12. Like the total training volume you're able to perform you are significantly more capable at the end of that. And you can actually look at that. It's documented. So I think that's great. And the other thing is too, standards. We've kept the mad function on standards that if you feel like an exercise is getting too easy, like say your legs are going really well and you're pistoling and shrimping away, you can progress it.
Yeah.
That dynamic function, I love that.
Yeah.
It's great. But I'm telling you, that was a shit ton of work.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Because like one exercise like squat or forward fold, like, you know, it has like trunk 26 variations.
Yeah.
2 videos.
You see one exercise on the program,
Dude.
but behind that there's like 27 different variations.
videos up there. I was uploading those videos with Ola. Oh my God. Standards.
So what that is for folks who don't know, with our program standards and with other programs we'll have in the future, sometimes as programmers, right, as coaches, sometimes we just want you to do the same exercise consistently for a period of time.
Yep.
But sometimes we need to find the right variation for you. And this is the functionality with standards, whereby it starts you at the very basic level of that exercise. But if you have more training experience or you're particularly good at that exercise, you should be able to progress through different variations that get progressively harder and more challenging until you find the one that's applicable for you.
To your level.
And so that's the idea, is that as you become stronger and more mobile with the program, you can progress certain exercises to make sure that you're always getting the stimulus you need to progress, rather than maybe doing something where you're like, oh, this part's are good, but this bit's a little bit easy.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you're on the money every time.
Yeah. So if you're someone who's probably more on the stronger side, but less mobile, the mobility will still match and challenge where you're at, but you can still push your strength level. Or if you're somebody who's, you know, really well developed in the upper body, but struggling with the legs, you know, you can still be challenged across the board and have a very unique workout to your level.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, if you're the real flexible person who's not that strong, you're still going to get challenged by the mobility. And that's the thing about it. It's that really nice hybrid of strength and mobility.
Yeah.
And I think the more people get into that, people are going to get really rapid gains. So, man, I'm pumped.
Dude, me too.
I
I mean, at the time we're saying this, it's already out on Android.
Yes.
Obviously, by the time this episode's out, it'll be out on App Store too. We're going through that right now, just so you go. What are we, like a 10-day, 2-week delay on the podcast at the moment?
Yeah, it's about
Something
10
like
days.
that.
Yeah.
We should do a couple of quick, commonly asked questions about this, I think, for our users.
Sure.
One question that's going to come up is for people who are already subscribed to our program.
Yes.
We are, and I can't say that this will be done by the time you're hearing this, but we are in the process of organizing the transition of all of our current subscribers to the new platform.
Yep.
It may not be done yet. We will most definitely let you know once it's done. So whether you receive new login information or it's a case of just using your existing, that'll be the case. However, if we haven't told you about that, then it hasn't happened yet.
Yep.
So if you are an existing subscriber and you do want to use the app, you are just going to have to sign up as a new person.
Yep.
Don't pay for anything there. Just
No.
log in. Just do the free version, because obviously once we transition your subscription, then you'll get full access.
Yeah. So understand that, guys. Full transparency. If you have, like, just at Christmas, you paid for 12 months, you will have that 12-month access to the app.
Yeah.
We are honoring all of that and making sure that everybody who's a supporter of ours, paid supporters, is going to get that. But
What
then
else?
also, well, I was going to say, if you get the app for free, you download it. It's totally free to download. But if you want to become a paid subscriber, go to our website. There'll be a link in the show notes of this episode.
Yep.
Help us grow the app, make it better for you guys. Do your paid subscription via the Bulletproof for BJJ apps, like the website.
The website, yeah, rather than the App Store, which just means that we don't have to pay such big commissions to the app stores.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, and then we can because the goal is to reinvest that to make this better, because a lot of people have asked for a lot of features.
If I could show you the list of JT's dream features, that pretty much every week it was like, hey, so I know that we said we're just going to keep it simple, but do you reckon we could do this?
Could we have a holographic representation of
I've been thinking about the app, and I think we need this feature. So all that shit is yet, or most of that shit is yet to come, right?
It's coming.
What's another thing that might come up? It is available on Apple, on iOS and Android, so it'll be functional across both. there is still, we also have a new website. So the app will also work, like there will be a new webpage. So if you're a subscriber and on the app and you wish that you could do it through your desktop or you want to do it through a television, you can totally log in on a computer.
Totally do it.
That's super slick. Is there anything else that people might want to know?
I think the thing is, which is very easy about all of it, is you can manage your own subscriptions. So you don't, it's not a big deal. If you want to
cancel.
You want to cancel?
Yeah.
Really easy for you
to
to
pay
do
for
that.
the next 20 years up front. You can do that.
We've got great options for
you. Appreciate that. You'll get a little achievement badge.
Lifetime. Oh, gee. But then I think the other thing too is like the blogs are on there, the podcast access. There's a lot of good things. But I mean, the thing I'm most excited about is just getting everyone together in there and just using the hell out of it.
Yeah, me too. Look, there's going to be little bugs and stuff. I think we've spent so much time weeding out everything we can.
We have.
It seems perfect right now, but no piece of tech is ever perfect.
No.
So we appreciate your patience with that, but also feedback. If you got something you're like, this is a bit annoying and it keeps happening, please tell us. We'll sort that shit out. We
can turn it around.
We got a team of developers now, and our goal over pretty much forever now that we've done it, is just to keep sending them shit. Hey, this needs to be improved. This needs to be fixed.
Change that.
Whatever it is. So really, don't be shy in flicking us an email or whatever, mentioning it on the community group.
Yeah,
all that.
Bring it up because we can get it done.
Thanks, fam. If you don't know where to get us, of course, bulletproofforbjj.com. You can do the whole sign up and shit there, and the app's available through the app stores.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, fam. Catch you guys next week.